Hello and welcome. Oh, I'm muted still. Oh, no, I'm not.
You're muted, Tim.
I'm muted. Hello and welcome. Because Tim's awesome that way. Welcome to Star Trek Lost Voyages. So we've been on hiatus, as you know, most things do over the holidays. And welcome back. Happy New Year. Happy 2021, everyone.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, right? Let's get right to it. So the ship is drifting through space. You've just finished, you've just left a new team, a science team at the Herc station you guys found last game in episode 5. And there's a team kind of like the Starfleet sent like a full Federation sent a full science crew to go and just investigate the crap out of it. If I remember correctly, you guys activated the vessel, and so they're there to kind of make sure that, you know, nothing goes horribly wrong. And
I mean, you can say you guys, but we know who actually did it.
Who actually did it? That's right, the one Klingon who's terrified of the Herc. Yeah.
I was on my own ship.
You were on your own ship. Yeah. All right. So
a little phaser there.
So let's do a quick prelude. So Captain Zanny, what is it you're doing on the ship right now on the USS Haida? It is a Cheyenne class.
After a successful transfer, he's taking the rest of the day to work on his 1967 Chevy Impala, which is completely carbon neutral. It's in cargo bay 2.
Carbon neutral. It's running on green energy. Yeah. It better be by now.
It's got 500 horsepower, which it shouldn't.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, and he's in there working on it, and his Zen-Kethi transporter operator is also off. Cargo bay 2 seconds as his bedroom because he's too big, so he's snoring in the corner.
All right,
which is nice. It drowns out the sounds
of
other people's minds because Zanny's is a beta Z, so
it's
he needs some alone time.
That's right. No, definitely not Tom Paris. He's just an homage, if you will. All right, Lieutenant Commander Gurkhan. What are you doing in your kind of like in between time while you're in between systems?
Well, when Gurkhan's not in the holodeck training in various martial arts that he has no idea how to do, he's working with the vehicle with the captain, and is currently attempting to find a way to install a cloaking device.
Right. Of course. Where did you get a cloaking device? Okay, just for everyone who knows, Gurkhan is Klingon that was on the exchange program, and then we had some internal family drama with Gurkhan's family, and Gurkhan is now declared dead with the Klingon Empire, and has joined the Federation under a kind of like different name, but everyone still calls him Gurkhan because it's a common Klingon name apparently. It's those G' names. They're everywhere, right?
He's no longer House of Mata.
That's right.
He's just Mata.
Yeah.
House of Haida.
And then nice. And then Lieutenant Sofek, our science officer. Yeah, Klingon family drama. Shocking, exactly. Our science officer, Lieutenant Sofek. What are you doing in your downtime?
Sofek is in the holodeck. He is practicing combination of susmana and meditation, kind of adapting some of the Vulcan or some of the Klingon kind of yoga or Tai Chi style into the Vulcan aspects of that as well.
Yeah, I'm down for this. You can have a point of motivation to like start. Like that's smooth. I dig that. Yeah.
I really want to see what Vulcan Klingon yoga looks like now.
I mean, if you, Sam, want to come up with a way to make it look like something, you feel free. I will make a stream just to watch that happen. And we've got Lieutenant Ross, right? Lieutenant Ross, Dr. Douglas, Lieutenant Ross. So, Doc, you're not on the ship. Where are you? You're on a planet, aren't you?
Yeah, currently I am assigned to sort of an archaeological station on Epsilon Alpha 3.
Yeah.
And I'm currently their only medical staff.
I mean, I mean, yeah, we'll have to one day dig into how you ended up here. But as what are you doing right now on the like? What's your character doing at this moment?
I just take care of all the different archaeological scientists, xenobiologists, all that kind of stuff. Those people, but I'm very bored because they don't really do anything.
Yeah.
So I've started to do very stupid things to try to pass the time.
Nice. Okay. I look forward to finding out what one of those stupid things is. You hear a lot of activity outside of your med. I suppose it would be a med pod. They probably have like pods. Let's say they have like those little domed pods. Outside the med pod, you hear a lot of activity, and it sounds like there's been a big discovery in the bunker. And there's a flurry of activity. Within a day, we're just kind of like a day later, we're going to show the orbit of Epsilon Alpha, and there is a Orion cruiser in orbit. And that's where we'll go to introduction, and we'll be right back.
Captain's log. We've arrived at Epsilon Alpha system, and in orbit is an Orion Raider. From a badly distorted coded message we received from the project's chief archaeologist, Commander Tavik, it appears the Orions are here for whatever secrets the commander has discovered on the planet below. While neither we nor the Orions have any claims to the system, it seems suspect that they are here by chance, and just as big a discovery was made.
Okay. So, yeah, dun dun dun. All right, so there we are. We're here, and so what would you like to do? You come out of warp, and over Orion Epsilon Alpha. Is over Epsilon Alpha 3 is an Orion Raider. Zani, Gurkhan, Sofek, you would all be on the bridge.
Since my number one isn't here, Sofek. Hail the Orion Raider.
Opening a channel, Captain.
Orion Raider. This is USS Haida. Captain's DaVinci. Issuing welcome to the system. We are here on peaceful exploration and hope you are too. Please respond.
We're a little busy right now. Our captain's down on the planet. You're welcome to talk to him about any merchant needs that you have. He's currently in the middle of negotiations. Enjoy your stay, I guess. Just stay out of our way, sir.
Thank you. I'll contact your captain. Zanny out. Helm, bring us into standard geosynchronous orbit.
You just like saying that, don't you?
I really do.
Sorry.
And Sofek, scan the planet. See if you can find both that captain and well, give me a general layout of what's on this planet other than the discovery we've been notified of. In the meantime,
Well, so just to make it clear, the message that you had was like coded and scrambled, like lots of interference. It looks like the interference is coming from this planet is prone to plasma storms, and Sofik, I think you have some information on the planet.
Yes, the system captain is subject to fairly intermittent solar flares, more so than regular systems containing Class M planets. However, it does cause numerous plasma storms to appear without warning in the atmosphere of the planet.
Do those solar flares pose any risk to the ship?
I would advise having deflector shields at maximum, Captain.
Gurkhan?
Shields up.
All right.
Right. Are you able to get in communication with the team that was here? There was the archaeology team?
Yeah,
They're still here, I assume.
There is no response.
Do we have their previous coordinates? So if even though it's scrambled, are you able to cut through the interference, see if there's any life signs still there?
I will attempt to do so, Captain.
So it'll be a difficulty 2.
Alright. Reason science?
Yeah. The ship can even roll the sensors if you want. Oh, wow, Jesus. Right off the bat, let's just get right into the crits.
Oh, look, I have a focus in sensors.
Of course you do.
Sensors and science for the ship.
Sure, why not? Let's just load it up right off the bat.
One die. Starship.
Ah, come on.
So I believe the count that brings us to 3 momentum.
That's 3 momentum. All right. So would you like to ask me questions?
Yes, I would like to ask my free questions.
Yeah, ask your free questions. Yeah.
So yeah, what's the breakdown? Well, how many life signs am I seeing?
There's lots of life signs. So this is like it's a fairly lush planet. Yeah, it's a fairly lush planet. So it's got massive land masses. They range through like huge, large landforms to like marsh swamps and archipelagos. And there's the survey team's currently in like one area that is like seems kind of like a general chill climate, fairly humid, swampy, kind of like the near the basin of the Mississippi on Earth. So it's that constant, like there's always like lots of low like always a high water level on, and there's lots of native inhabitants. They don't seem to be anywhere near the dig site though. And you can see settlements kind of like around and on the coast. There's a forest bearing between the settlement and the dig site, and the natives seem to be staying far away. They're Bronze Age. I'm giving you like way more than your one answer, I know, because I might as well just use your 2 free questions right now. You get all the team is accounted for that you can tell in the area. Yeah.
But is there any extra? Like, is
yes,
Orion
Orions.
Captain?
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, that was a plural. How many Orions?
There are 5 Orions.
Captain, I am detecting 5 Orion life signs on the planet. I believe the term Yazikov would use is "we can take them."
Noted. Right. Standard question.
Yeah.
Is there anything that will impede the transporters from us beaming down?
Are we using a momentum to ask another question or gain information?
I
Yeah,
was
sure. I
asking
mean,
Sofek.
I'll use that that one you gave me at the beginning.
All right. So using your momentum, there is a plasma storm massing and heading towards the dig site. You probably have 12 to 24 hours before it hits. I may have just gotten that time really wrong.
So nothing that prevents us from using the transporters right now.
No. But if that transporter hits, or if that, 12 to 24 hours. Yeah.
I recommend pattern enhancers, Captain.
Noted. The away team will have pattern enhancers. Are we able to contact the chief archaeologist?
Sofek presses some buttons.
No, there's no reply.
Dang it. I know. Try once, fine. It doesn't work, fine. Try twice, it doesn't work. That's a problem. All right. I guess we'll have to go and see them. Drakan, from a structural ship perspective, what? Sorry.
No, it's all
It's
good.
been a really long day.
It's all good. It's all good.
Drakan, do an engineer thing. No.
Yes, Chip. Our ship now is at warp 9.
Don't ram us into the planet.
Right. Yes, Captain. The shields will hold underneath the stress of the solar flares.
Perfect, thank you. In any case, I look at Sofek and Gurkhan. Do either of you know anyone on our ship with an archaeology background?
No.
I believe Lieutenant Beagle has a rock collection.
Oh my
Geolo-
God. Lieutenant Beagle has a rock collection. Is that now canon? All right.
Yeah.
Is
I'll
now
add
just
that
made
in.
it so.
Yeah.
Also, technically, Captain, the oldest thing on the ship is your car.
It's too. Wow. It's too
That's
bad
true.
Lieutenant Beagle and Lieutenant Commander Yazikov are off ship.
Yeah, they're off at a Batleth tournament that I was not invited to.
Oh my God.
Is it Batleth?
Yes,
Well-
absolutely.
Is it that last tournament on Ryza?
Yeah.
We're gonna say it's on Earth,
Oh, it's on Earth. Okay.
because remember, my character's wife is on Earth now,
Oh yeah, right.
and she is a former Batleth Grandmaster, and she's sending complaints about how these humans don't know how to swing a Batleth.
Is that why you weren't invited? Because your wife's hosting it, and she just
It's because if I
Right,
show
yeah.
up there and it actually is broadcast, that could cause troubles with the Klingon Empire.
So
anyway. Anyway, we need to
Get
form
down.
an away team.
yeah. Okay.
That's my number one's out of action.
It's you.
That's me. I'll
Yeah.
take it ahead. Just in case, I'll need an engineer and definitely a science officer. So Sofek and Gurkhan, you're coming with me. We'll take 2 security officers just in case, because there's 5 Orions.
Yeah.
And I guess meet in transporter room 2.
Crewman Smith and Crewman Jones.
Yeah, I think Luther can stay on the ship. In fact, Luther's an officer, right?
Nope.
He'd be the equivalent of a Master Chief.
It's okay. Gamma Shift has it.
Sure. Gamma shift, you have the con.
Yeah. Yes. I knew we'd get it. I told you guys. You would totally got this, sir. Totally got this.
I like how I considered a Master Chief, not non-officer, to command my ship before Gamma shift. Like, I can't technically put him in command.
I mean, if I remember
Shit.
correctly, you guys always complained about Gamma Shift, so that works. All right.
Just before he steps in the turbo lift, you hear Zanny go, "Fine."
Yeah. Yeah. And just as they're closing, you're like, "We got this!" Woo!
Captain,
all
I
right.
told you to look at the dates before approving vacation. This is why there is only Gamma Shift.
Shut up, Sofek.
Okay, so you guys beam down, and the Orions are, there already. And Commander Tavik comes up to greet you. Peace and long life, Captain. And then looks at Sofek. Sofek, do you know Commander Tavik? Vulcan with like heavy science background, archaeology.
Oh,
is...
so all Vulcan science officers know each other. Is that what you're saying?
No, but we established that you knew a lot of science officers, so we did that in season 1. So if you want to be mad at me, you can.
Stefan, roll a die. See if you know him.
Actually, yeah, roll a dice, see if you know him.
You didn't establish what that
apparently I
means.
No.
I'm gonna say
Apparently
yes
I
because
do. Yeah, no. 4+ was a yes. 4+ is always a yes.
All right. So, Commander Tavik is kind of like really excited, as much as a Vulcan can be.
His one eyebrow goes up slightly.
Yeah. To the chance to study archaeology and on another world, and when this opportunity came up, he was super excited. He's been leading the team for over 6 months. They were on the verge of a breakthrough when you last heard from them. There had been reports that Orions and Ferengi were in the area, but that's nothing new. Even you guys have experienced Orions and Ferengi in the area, so that's not unusual for this region of space.
Greetings, Commander Tavik. Is there a place where I assume we're outside.
Yeah.
Is there a place where we can talk privately?
As you say that, you kind of like you see somebody kind of like pop up from behind him, and it's like one of those weird sort of like perspective kind of like, and it's an Orion wearing the captain's commander outfit. So there is no claim to this space, but we're curious what it is that you are doing here. This looks like you're laying claim.
Zanny visibly just was hoping to get more information before this guy showed up. I'm trying to remember how Star Trek actually does lay claim to territory, but it doesn't matter because there's already a native population here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Soilham is like, there's no claim to be laid. There's already a native population here.
Let me make it easy for you. This isn't Federation territory. I stake claim on anything that's found here, as of now.
Well, operating within Federation law, which I am beholden to, your claim is not recognized at the moment. We would have to go through trade negotiations for that, which is currently beyond my purview. So
Tavik also looks over and gives him one of those eyebrow quirks. Sofek understands it as, you son of a bitch, but everyone else is kind of like, oh yeah, it's another Vulcan eyebrow quirk. He says to the Orion super calmly, we suggest you make a claim through the courts, as we have the right to be here. Then the captain scoffs, says, we'll see who leaves here with the artifact, and then says, energize. And the Orion leaves in a transporter beam.
Gurkhan?
Well, anybody can make claims, apparently, Captain. I claim this ground as my birthright.
I do
As a
particularly
Starfleet
like
officer,
that tree
that
over there,
claim is-
Captain.
Both those claims are denied. Shut up. Gurkhan said pattern enhancers to stop that guy from beaming directly into our archaeology site, please. The archaeological site. And just for now.
I
And
can try.
you can
I don't
do
know.
it.
I don't know if enhancers can de-enhance, but I can try.
That's interesting. All right.
Remodulate the power coupling. Figure it
I
out.
can always just turn the batteries backwards.
Commander Tavik, can you just tell us what's been going on? What you found here?
Oh, right, that's me. Sorry. I'm like, who's Commander Tavik?
Because it's too moist here. He's
I
not
know,
used to
right?
it.
This is what happens when I don't play for 6 weeks. This is what happens. So he briefs you, and actually he briefs all three of you on on basically they've just found a new underground structure. They've called it the bunker. There's been a source of really strange and potent power emanations coming from it. That's what the excitement was. And then very shortly later, after discovering and figuring out that, we could probably get in, but it's going to take like some dig time, we started digging, and then suddenly they kind of arrived, like the Orions arrived. Yeah, it's been an unusual day.
How close have you come to actually reaching the bunker, or opening it?
We're very close. Any assistance would be helpful. It seems to be sealed pretty tightly, but we're confident we can get in.
How are you planning to open it? Have you been able to scan anything beyond the main entrance?
We can tell that there's open space. We know that it's not toxic, and we're fairly certain it's kind of like a coded lock system.
So do you need to have you deciphered the lock code?
No, we didn't have the chance. The Orions had arrived by the time that we were about to start making efforts. We're also having issues with the water pumps keeping the water out of because it's underground, right? So it's below the water level. So water keeps leaking in. So our chief engineer is on it. And our medical officer, and he kind of waves you over, Doug. He says, our medical officer says that there's no known contaminants inside. Oh, you can have a momentum. I know what you're doing, and that's awesome. All right, so this human, right?
Human, yeah.
So this human doctor walks over, lieutenant rank, has the lollipop in his mouth. Yeah, he's got that look of he's totally out of place here. He looks like you know how some doctors just look like pediatricians. He looks like a pediatrician. He looks like he's got that friendly face. He got that like calm demeanor. He looks like he's gonna be good with kids. He's got that vibe to him.
Doctor.
Just Doug.
Doug? That lollipop's Doug. Lollipop standard issue.
No, I gotta replicate him.
Can I have one? Then he takes one and starts eating it. He's got a sweet tooth, as we know from his sweet Ractogenos. Anyways, right, Gurkhan, can you do something with those water pumps once the enhancers are in place? Sofek, you want to take a look at that lock system with Commander Tavik? Johnson, you two. Smith and set a perimeter.
Does he ever remember our names? No, man. Just get over it now and you'll be good. It's not mean, right? No, he just doesn't remember names. He's a face person. He'll always recognize your face, just not your names. Oh, okay. All right, we're good.
He'll recognize you by your emotional content.
Yeah, the GM is having conversations with himself. Somebody please save me.
Doug.
There was one other person in the kind of conversation with the doctor. Doctor, you were added because you're kind of like the next ranking officer. There was also Dr. Sarah McCall. She was kind of like listening in and being ready, but she looked kind of like she was always. She wasn't really there. She wasn't. You know how something be here now. She was listening, but she wasn't really all that super attentive. Something else was on her mind.
Can I sense what that is? Is it anxiety? Is it stress? Is it excitement?
Yeah, it's a little bit of anxiety and stress. If you want deeper, you're going to have to do your roll.
I might take a quick peek at the surface thoughts a little deeper, but okay. I'm not going to be intrusive. Just what I can pick up.
All right.
I'm going to ask the commander. The Orion captain mentioned something about an artifact.
Yeah, well, we're pretty certain that the thing emanating power from the bunker is an artifact. We can scan like an individual thing inside. It looks like it's possibly a power source. Our first thought is, and you kind of like, he shows you, like he pulls out a pad and it's got a map, city map, and it's kind of like when we look at ancient Babylonia, or the different ancient cities from the Middle East, when you can see the layout, because we can do that cool scan now, and you can see the layout of these old cities, and where you are is kind of in the middle, and the bunker looks like it used to be part of a massive complex, but it's dead in the center, which would make it an ideal location for like power emanation.
So while you're having a look at that log, maybe you can scan the energies and the energy output and sort of get a fix on what it might be. You're usually pretty good at that.
I'll request some scanning equipment from the Haida.
It's a good idea.
Okay.
Just Doug, what are you it's gonna be weird. What are your impressions of the situation, especially with the Orions? You've been here a while.
I have been here for a while, yeah.
He's just like, that's it.
That's it? That's all we got?
He's like, I know.
They showed up pretty recently. I haven't really talked to anybody about it other than look out, there's Orions around.
All right. Wealth of information there. Thanks, Doug.
You're welcome.
So one thing Doug does know, Doug, you know that they have never shown up before.
Right.
And it is rarely, I mean, it's a little bit sus that suddenly, you've just made this big find and now they've shown up for the first time.
I mean, it's always sus when Orions show up.
True.
That's true.
True.
It's suspect they showed up. That's a Tuesday. It's either them or Romulans. Maybe they are Romulans. Anyways, let's have a peek at what's concerning Dr. Sarah. Yeah, I want to read that.
All right. How'd you do for your roll?
I'll tell you right now.
Mm-hmm.
I did okay.
Okay.
2. Yeah.
So she's definitely distracted. Something else on her mind. Someone named David.
Interesting. Noted.
Stressed about the Orions.
I will go and talk to her when it's my turn again.
Okay.
I'll let the other folks do some stuff.
Gurkhan, you were working on turning the pattern enhancers into pattern refusers.
So if they,
Canon, that's what they're called now. Pattern refusers.
Pattern refusers? Yeah. Okay.
I'm hoping that they don't try to transfer it in because I don't know if they'll show up here or everywhere simultaneously.
Yeah. Okay.
Never been done before, but
give me. So, what's your theory behind this? You're gonna.
My theory is I'll end up using whatever program that is built into these guys to focus the pattern onto this one location.
Yeah. Sure.
I'll make it focus only on Federation signals and disperse everything else.
Yeah, okay. Why don't you give me some
daring and engineering?
Definitely daring and engineering. Throw some technobabble in there if you got some, and I'll even.
Yeah, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the pattern recognizes the pattern of the Federation transporters. Every other transporter has a different pattern because they're green or they're blue or whatever. That's just a different energy dispersal technique. The Federation has all of its stuff encoded in a very specific and ultra safe version of transporting. Might be a little bit slower, might not be able to penetrate as deeply, which is why we need the enhancers. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it hone in on those Federation signals and lock them into the location, and anything else, it'll disperse it over the area and basically not allow that person to lock onto this location.
Look at you go. Yeah, I agree. Somebody in the chat just said Michael Okuda would be proud. I completely agree. He did all the tech for this. Well done, Gurkhan.
I am going to spend momentum
on
that.
You're welcome for throwing me the impossible situation. Here, do something that's never been done.
On the
There is.
fly.
Oh, look, he did it.
Oh,
Well done.
Ship, yeah. So I'm assuming because it's transporter, it's shipboard engineering. No, actually, it's only 3 successes.
it's only 3. Okay, so you have no
Oh.
focus that can do this, right? Not with the.
I'm not shipboard.
No, that's right. We're not shipboard. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really good. So you're fairly certain that it'll stop. Like if maybe 1 or 2 beam down, you'll be good. If they beam down like a troop, or
Yeah.
do multiple beams, then you're gonna have some difficulties. But it'll do the job. It'll be a good deterrent for the moment.
And since I only brought 3 pattern enhancers, I'm putting them in a location where I think they're most likely to beam down,
Yeah.
which is the front entrance of the location.
Yeah. All right. That's awesome. Okay. Well done. Sofek, how about you? What are you up to?
So yeah, I've gone down to both help with figuring out the lock and seeing if I can identify the power source that's coming out. Like, I want to see if I can figure out if it's antimatter, fusion, what basically what's making the power.
Okay. All right. So, as you and Doug, are you sticking around on base, or are you going to go with Sofek, or are you going to stick with? Look, what do you want to do at this point?
I think I'll probably stick around Gurkhan. Klingon interests me.
I mean, it's definitely the most excitement. So Doug, for your sake, you're kind of at that point where it's like, oh my god, new stories. Somebody tell me new stories, because you've heard everything about everyone's life so far. Like, if you hear one more conversation about somebody's fiance, or like that another discussion about the find that somebody made on another planet, it's like, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, it's just What is the most interesting thing that you want to know about Gurkhan?
I want to know if he's a drinker.
We discovered some of his drinking habits on Vulcan.
We did.
And he likes Vulcan candy, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he likes Vulcan candy. He likes Vulcan wine.
So, according to the background story, Gurkhan's slightly allergic to some sugars in Vulcan candy, which gets him incredibly intoxicated.
Yeah.
So he was hammered on Vulcan for a good long time, walking around with a Lurpa.
It was an awkward game.
Yet, he did have one of the best lines when we were accused of having our ship fly away with a crew on board. He immediately yelled, "You let our ship get stolen?"
Yeah. All right.
That was a good one.
So
And I
there's
think 2/3 of our crew are banned from Vulcan now.
yeah. So you it's like a handful of hours, kind of like getting into it. So in fact, it's going to be a while.
Gurkhan does go down to the water pump as well to try to see if he can work on that after he's done with the pattern enhancers.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll say that it took you a bit to get the pattern enhancers set up. Sofek, you've realized that it's like the water pump is indeed kind of like causing issues. The entrance to the bunker looks to be an old emergency hatch. You figure the rest of kind of like the complex is crumbled in, but they're built to last as much as they can, right? So you can probably figure it out, but you're gonna have to like connect some power, do some conversion, etc., etc. Gurkhan might be the one to help you out. There's also a biological aspect to it, like it requires some DNA as like a security entrance, and Doug might be able to help you replicate that because they've been kind of like here long enough to discover certain aspects of it. Zanny, as you're kind of like trying to have like proper conversations with different people on you get a call from Gamma Shift. Sir, we've got a little bit of an issue, and they're really staticky.
Go ahead.
Well, we were trying to contact you, but something was interfering. We think it's it looks like there's some dispersal happening in your area. We just want to check that you're okay.
Yeah, we're fine. Why do you sound like Kermit the Frog?
Oh, because Tim only has 5 voices, and he's kind of rotated through most of them already. So this is just one of the ones that Gamma Shift suddenly has. Listen,
I cover my combat and go, yes, to come. God damn. I was kidding. It was Tim.
The mighty Tim. Sir, a Ferengi Marauder class vessel has just entered orbit, and then it cuts off.
I was going to say maintain yellow alert. My comms work to Gurkhan and Sofek down here, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll calm them. Gurkhan, Sofek, be aware. Ferengi vessel just entered the system. We may be expecting company.
And sure as crap, not long later, you see a Ferengi shuttle kind of coming down around the area.
I hate these guys. Commander Tavik's in the cave, right?
Commander Tavik is in the cave, yeah.
So who else is up here with me? They're down there, but it's like Dr. Sarah. Is there anybody else? Starfleet?
Yeah. So with you right now is 2 ensigns, fresh out of Ensign Malcolm Everson and Ensign Leela Edwards. Super fresh out of the academy. In fact, this is their recent graduates. And this is their first mission. It's their like fresh out mission, that one that you get when you're like early posting to kind of like get your feet wet. They picked it because they were really excited. They're both wearing the science blues, you know, that like pseudo teal that I love that color. So they're wearing the science blues, and they got like their like, you know, you can tell from just like their vibe that this was not the posting they were expecting, right? Like you come out of the academy, you're like, yes, we're gonna make a discovery, and then you get here and you realize it's filing. Damn it! Like that's, but they're not like unhappy. They're just like, yeah, not what I was ready for.
Sorry, it was Ensign Edwards and
Everson and Edwards.
Everson. Okay, also calm Johnson and Johnson. Johnson, be aware that we have Ferengi landing. Meet me near the entrance.
They kind of like look at each other, like Ensign Leela with one eye. Yes, okay. One of them is Ensign Leela and has one eye. Well, you can switch that. Yeah. Yeah, as they kind of look at each other, Johnson and Johnson. You walk away, and Smith walks by. He's like, "Yeah, he was talking to you. Everyone's Johnson that he doesn't know right away." Okay. They kind of like follow you, but they want them to follow you.
No, I was telling our security guards to meet me there, like the security team that came with us.
Oh, I thought you were talking to
They're
those
Johnson
two.
and Johnson.
Yeah.
No, I'll actually remember Ensign Edwards and Everson temporarily because they're not on my crew.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be polite.
Right.
No, after I tell Johnson to meet me near the entrance because Ferengi are coming because I want some security with me, I look at Edwards and Everson and go, either of you two ever study negotiation at the academy?
Edwards, her one eye blinks, and she's like, no.
Well, it's time to learn.
Okay.
Time to learn. You two follow me. I don't know how many Ferengi are showing up. I just,
this so awkward. All right.
Follow me.
I don't know how many Ferengi there are going to be. I'm going to throw newbies at them.
Yeah, I mean, red shirts, right?
At very least, they're good for cover.
Wow,
I'm so sorry.
Okay, we're gonna cut from Sam. Sofek, let's go to you. Give me some science here down in the. What are you thinking for your science rules for down here? I'm thinking like maybe a daring in science. Kind of diving into it.
I mean, I'm gonna argue that I'm Vulcan, so I'm gonna. I'd say insight.
Insight?
I would. Sofek's methodology is much more methodical as opposed to Gurkhan's hitting
True.
Buttons and hoping it works.
Yeah, and Tavik would definitely have like kind of like he'd be there for you on this one too, right? So
He'd have notes.
yeah.
Slash.
He'd be there. He'd be there, like assisting, or probably he'd be leading.
He'd still
and
have
you'd be
notes.
assisting. To be honest, yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, well, give me a check there, why don't you?
How much momentum do we
I
have?
think there's 3 if I counted right.
So is this for? I so you should clarify. Is this for the lock, or is this for me analyzing the power source?
You're trying to figure out how long it's going to take to open that lock.
Okay. I'll use a momentum.
Okay, before you roll, Doctor, can I please get a roll from you?
Sure.
If you've got an emphasis or a bonus in xenobiology, this will assist you in this case.
I definitely do.
I would like a daring and medicine from you, please, to see if you can at least replicate the DNA pattern.
Okay, and that's I put 2 in there. One under task roll, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Try that. Take that.
Nice. Yeah, so you get most of the chain that you think you'll need. So it will benefit. It won't hinder Sofek and Tavik. That's basically what we were making sure, is that you were gonna make it more difficult for them.
Sure.
Yep. Okay, Sofek, give me a roll. Gurkhan, well, they're doing that. You're working on the pumps, right?
Mm-hmm. It says it's flooding, so I'm trying to get at least them going quicker to get the water out.
Yeah, okay.
Got 3 successes.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys are it's gonna take you, it'll probably take you still a couple hours. Maybe a little bit longer, but not like lots and lots longer. Barring no interruptions, the 2 of you could probably have this open in an hour. Interruptions would be, for example, the Ferengi that you don't know about, the flooding that Gurkhan is trying to assist with, things like that. So as long as everything else goes well, you guys should have this open in very little time. To which you can actually feel Tavik's excitement, like he's actually having a hard time maintaining his composure. Somewhat understandable, seeing as this is literally a lifelong perception for him. But I don't know what would Sofek think of this, because Sofek has had issues in the past with his control of his emotions since that Borg incident. So, do you say anything to him, or do you kind of do you just let it be? Like, how do you play it?
Home to do some Klingon yoga.
Klingon yoga is just screaming into a pillow for 45 minutes.
I now have an idea of how we can do both Klingon yoga. Thanks, Paul.
So, yeah.
I'm just going to say to the commander, this must be quite an accomplishment for your archaeological legacy, Commander.
It is very agreeable, and he's almost about to say excitement, like he's like it's something I have been aiming to achieve my entire career thus far. It's been many years, and I'm very excited. Very. What would a Vulcan word for excitement be?
Invigorated.
It is invigorating. I think invigorating is even kind of in the way. No, it's invigorating. Yeah, that gets the adrenaline going. They have adrenaline.
That's biological.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It is agreeable to be doing this, and even more so with another Vulcan.
Yes, I do believe, as you know from our time at the Science Academy, that I do believe that analyzing the past is the best way to help move us forward.
I completely agree. Shall we then?
Please continue.
All right. So you get the vibe that Vulcan determination when you see it, and he's determined. Like, nothing but no one is going to interfere with this moment. Yeah. Okay. Gurkhan, how'd you do with that?
I haven't rolled yet. I don't know what I'm.
Let's do it. So it's not daring this time because you know how to fix a mechanical pump. I'd say
Reason
so.
and engineering.
Yeah, reason and engineering.
Or, I won't burn any momentum this time.
Okay.
2 successes.
Yeah, so the pump is working well enough. It's really gunky. Everyone's seen Lower Decks. It's that kind of that slime planet that they were on in one of the earlier episodes. It's that kind of like it's just marsh and gross and
It's
so
clay.
It's clay. It's clogging up the filtration system. I mean, it should last with no more issues. It should last at least another 12 to 24 hours. Should be good to go. Zanny, up on the planet. So what is the plan? Are you gonna go and find the?
I'm gonna wait for the Ferengi to come to us.
Okay. All right. So the Ferengi, Damon walks up. They walk. Yeah. What's that?
Hello.
I'm Damon Storbo. I claim this area in the name of the Ferengi Alliance.
Uh-huh. You and the Orions and who else?
They are not welcome here. They have no claim.
And under what trade law did you lay claim to this? It's an unknown planet with a native population.
The native population has no impact on me. They're not good for trade.
Debatable.
The artifact, however, that has great possibilities.
What
And I will
artifact?
not let the Orions take it from me.
What artifact are you?
Oh,
you
don't play
referring
coy
to?
with me, Federation. I know what you're here for, too.
It's Captain DaVinci. Just we didn't really get off to a formal introduction. That's my fault.
It's not
you know.
important. What's important is that I've laid claim to this territory.
Well, I guess since the Federation was on this planet prior to you, we would have to go through some sort of formal negotiation between the Federation as well as the Ferengi Trade Alliance and the Orions because they laid claim before.
Is
So,
he trying to
you're
diplomacy
gonna-
me? He kind of looks around you towards the other two. Is he trying to diplomacy me?
I
How?
just give a side eye to Leela and just like
She's got her one big eye, like really like.
just,
Blink once for yes.
don't give them anything.
Okay, so even without your telepathy, you get the vibe that he really doesn't like the Orions.
So, do you know the Orions that are around here? Storbo?
He kind of gets really tense. He just looks at you and he leans in. Just stay out of my way, human.
Why would I stay out of your way when
And
we have a common issue?
He kind of storms away.
We could have made a deal.
Also not human.
He doesn't know that.
Doesn't care.
Okay, so that's actually where we're going to take our commercial break. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. Feel free to chat in the chat room. The Real POTUS 98, where I see you. Thanks for chatting along. Anyone else who's there, hope you're enjoying it. And we'll be back in 10. See you soon. Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to Star Trek Lost Voyages. I am the GM Tim, hosting a stream here on Norse Foundry's Twitch stream, and we are in a half time for our mission. So let us do a little bit of a recap, if you don't mind. So, Captain's Log Supplemental Gamma Shift. Tensions are high on the bridge of the USS Haida as we await the return of the away team from the planet's surface. We're at a state of yellow alert and have been ever since we saw this Ferengi ship in orbit above the planet. We're anxious to see what the crew of the enemy ships are going to do next. The Ferengi ship has already let down a shuttle. The Orions have attempted to transport but seem to be having difficulties. There seems to be a stalemate, basically, us, the Ferengi, and the Orions. We're watching the Ferengi are watching the Orions are watching the Ferengi. It's just a weird thing, and they're both watching us. The plasma storm has made it difficult to communicate with the surface, and it seems to be gaining power and speed towards the dig site. It's becoming a little nerve-wracking, especially while we're currently awaiting our next communication window with the away team so we can find out what's going on and what to do. I mean, what's going on down there as well, because we're fully capable. And not just Gamma Shift. We'll show them. Computer, delete that last part. And then we switch back down to the planet. The pumps seem to be going pretty good. Sofek, you're working away. The Ferengi are being difficult, I
Ferengi?
guess. They're being Ferengi, yeah. Doctor, what were you up to?
I was just kind of hanging out with Gurkhan and bugging him.
Bugging him?
I've been trying to I've been asking him just questions about the rest of the universe, basically. Kind of what he's been up to.
Why
he's with Starfleet.
Give us a couple of those.
I mean, Gurkhan explains to you that he was at Wolf 359. Yeah, and he's like, you don't want to meet the Borg. Have you met the Borg? The Borg are bad.
No, I don't think they're on Earth yet, so I don't think I haven't. No.
Also, and he asked you a couple of questions, Doctor. Like, so are you you study xenobiology and you study children's medicine?
Pediatrician, yep.
What sort of xenopediatricianing have you done?
I've never done xenopediatricianing. I used to be a pediatrician on Earth. I used to be a normal doctor.
What forced you into the Federation lifestyle? I mean, I was forced into the Federation lifestyle. I've adapted.
It was just one of those things. One day I was like, it's time to get off of Earth and go do something, and Starfleet seemed like a good idea at the time.
Divorce.
Yeah, that's part of it, yeah.
All she left you with your bones? And then he starts making his way down towards Sofek, because if there's an ancient engineering device that generates power, Gurkhan's gonna want to see it.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to coax him to go over to whatever the Starfleet version of a shipping container is. There's like one of those at the back of the facility. I want to see if he wants to go check something out.
Gurkhan, do you want to go check something out?
Gurkhan has an amazing addiction to old technology, unfortunately. Yeah, it was one of his old values. And unfortunately, blowing up the first ship caused him to lose that value, but he really, really, really wants to see this device. And while he does trust Sofek to get through it, he doesn't trust him to get through it fast enough.
Okay.
Like, he's like, Sofek will get through it, but Sofek will eliminate every single other possibility first. Whereas Gurkhan's like, there's a door. Just pull it off.
I mean, Sofek will do it the correct way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so Gurkhan's not going to go with you, Doug. What is it you're doing?
Fine. I was just gonna show him my setup, but yeah, it's fine. I'll just follow him then.
Denied.
Oh,
Ouch.
Tear.
Single tear.
Yeah. Fine, I'll come with you. More lollipop. Yeah.
Gurkhan's staying away from the lollipop. He doesn't trust sweets anymore.
Fair enough. Okay. Zanny, what are you up to?
I'm gonna head down into the caves that the Ferengi have left. I've issued orders to Johnson & Johnson to maintain a vigil in case they show up again. I'll tell Edson, Edwards, and Everson to come with me because I'm going to drop them off with Sofek. Then I'm going to head towards Gurkhan, Sofek, and Dr.
Great.
Doug. I have a mission for Dr. Doug.
Okay, so as you're walking by, as you're walking kind of like through the camp, you hear, I did what you ask.
I stop immediately and try to look who's talking.
Okay, so are you going to try and do it quietly and just kind of like peek in?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
You see Dr. McCall speaking to a view screen, and on the view screen is very staticky the Orion captain.
Ooh, I'm going to listen in sneakily.
And return David to me. This is all taken care of, and we'll give you what you wish. And then the screen goes black. And she turns. Are you just like kind of like?
No, I'm gonna as she finishes, I'm gonna do that thing where you stand on the door and lean on the door frame.
Yeah. Okay. So she turns around. And she's like,
What?
I'm sorry. And she kind of hands you a pad. The pad is a letter. It says, "My dearest Sarah, I hate writing you like this, but I've been asked to stay with some Orion gentlemen while I was out on a cargo run to Beta Hydra 4. They've assured me that I would remain in good health as long as you do something for them. They've discovered that you are in a position to tell them about the goings on during the dig on Epsilon Alpha 3. They're curious about what the science team has found and believe it could be valuable to them. They require you to give them a regular intelligence update concerning the events on Epsilon Alpha 3 and your opinion of whatever your team finds. I hate for you to be put in this position, but I'm certain that they mean what they say. Do what you feel is right to you. I trust you to do the right thing. All my love, David."
As soon as I finish reading it, I look at it and go, "So who is David and what does he do?"
Wow. Full Arnie. Who is he? Tell me now.
Do it now.
He's my fiance. He's a cargo runner.
I see. And do you know if he's on the Orion ship?
I think they're on his. I'm not sure though. All I had was this letter.
Well, we'll have to see how we can help David out, but for the moment you're going to have to come with me because you violated your oath to Starfleet. So
I understand.
We'll deal with that in a minute, but I have one other question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously now we know how the Orion found out. How did the Ferengi find out?
That I don't know. I did not tell the Ferengi. And the Daemon kind of peeks his head around the corner, doing to you what you did to her, but further down the hall. I have an answer to that!
I hate these guys.
And then we're going to cut right there.
Laugh at the evil laugh.
All right, so Sofek, Gurkhan, and Ross down in the area with Tavek. You guys are very close, and Sofek, you realize that there's just one more sequence that needs to be entered. Are you going to do it, or are you going to let Tavek do it?
I'm going to let Tavek do it, as it's apparently almost un-Vulcanly important to him.
Yeah.
I worry what not allowing him to do it would do.
Okay. So as you pop the hatch, so he enters the sequence. and it's almost like a contented kind of like just like, and the hatch kind of goes, and you hear kind of like that thunk 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 of old lights turning on, and you can kind of see down, and you notice that you've there's lots of debris that you're gonna have to get out of the way, yeah. So you've just kind of like dig out what you need to, and the storm Ross is getting stronger and harder and faster towards you guys. You don't have much time before you're gonna have to take cover. Technically, the bunker would count as cover, but if you're stuck down here, there's no way to beam out at all. Yeah. So it is a definite. How do I put this right? Getting in isn't a big deal. Getting in and being able to get out so that things don't collapse in is. Does that make sense, Sofek?
Yes.
Yeah. So
basically, clearing the rubber would undermine the structural integrity of the entire complex.
If you come up with a way to do it, it might be able to be done. But at this, like right as it stands right now, you could get in, and you could probably get out. But getting in and moving things around might cause issues. And whatever's on the other side is on the other side of this kind of like stuff in the way. Tvek is ready to call all hands down here to start moving things out of the way. He figures if everyone is in kind of like assembly sequence, we could probably trash it out.
Does it seem like he is thinking about the fact that having everyone in just taking stuff out that could cause collapse? Or is he just like, I want this out so I can get to the center? So
that method would work, but it would take about 10 hours. You've got about 4 before the plasma storm hits.
So basically him getting everyone down here, that would take 10 hours. But we need something faster than that. I'm going to message Gurkhan, or open the line to Gurkhan.
Yeah, he's on his way down to you at this point.
Okay.
Commander, we need a method to get through some debris and rubble that is in our way quickly without causing a cave-in.
I could erect force fields to hold the structure up while transporting the rubble directly out of the building.
Ooh.
It will require us transporting down more pattern enhancers and force field generators. That could take time as well, Commander or Lieutenant.
You wouldn't need, so I'll just be, you don't need the pattern enhancers for this part. You could do it because you're underground. You could set up the force field generators, but it would give you limited time once they're activated. Because that's a lot of weight. Like you're talking like
tons.
Like like you're talking
a
like
mountain.
Earth, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that. So it'd be long enough to get in and get out, do what you need to do, as long as you did well. It should work. And Sofek, you're now noticing the power on the other side. If your tricore readings are accurate, and you're not sure that they are, to be perfectly honest with you, because this is a serious issue right now. Like lots of plasma, lots of interference. But on the other side of that rubble is more power than a Galaxy-class starship.
But still no indication of what type of power. I mean, definitely a powerful energy source, but not something that's necessarily outside of what current powers could create.
Okay. Ross, anything to add? Any thoughts?
I'll basically let them know that these plasma storms have hit us before, and we'll have to get into underneath the shield at least. And it looks like most of the planet is used to these storms and has sort of evolved to survive the storms. We definitely have not evolved that,
Yeah.
and they will destroy us.
How long do the storms? Well, because I'm walking with Dr. Ross. How long do the storms usually last, Doctor?
I mean, they can range anywhere from just like any rainstorm on any planet, from a couple minutes to a full day.
Yeah. And they can be as strong as like a regular, like misty Vancouver style rainstorm, or as strong as like a Georgian hurricane.
And this one seems like it's big, I'm assuming.
Yeah, this one looks pretty intense. You're talking hurricane winds. And a plasma too, so that's not very nice all around.
That's just lightning.
Yay! Lightning that can melt you. Fun.
Well, that's what normal lightning does, anyways. just
Right?
Not as well.
Amazing. Okay.
Right.
Well, this is up to the captain because the captain's not with us, so I'm gonna actually message him. I'm gonna open up communication. Good Conti Captain.
Super staticky.
But you'll hear
Captain.
Dave, Storbo, Ferengi. I can't hear him. I'm talking.
I am so impressed with you guys right now.
Captain.
It's like a DM's dream when he just like tells you the surrounding environment and you guys create the difficulties for yourselves in the game. That's just great. You keep doing this. That's
We stuck here longer. What's your recommendation?
nice.
Plasma coming down. Company.
Okay. All right.
Do you know what this means, Sofak?
Well,
Never heard of a plasma company.
It would seem that Ferengi have also arrived, or the captain is having another psychotic break.
Another? Oh, Jesus. Poor
When did I
guy.
have the first one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Shh, we gave you drugs to forget.
Yeah.
the last time you had one was when it was the holodeck episode.
That was just PTSD.
That was, yeah. Okay.
Type of psychotic break.
So, Gurkhan, what is your plan?
Well, I don't want to be stuck here when the plasma storm hits and there's Orions and Ferengi in space potentially threatening our vessel.
Yeah.
I'd rather be on board the vessel.
Yeah.
I'm going to start transporting the rubble out and getting that few hours we need to get to said device that they're looking for and get it out of here before anybody knows.
Okay, so you're getting some stuff down here. You're gonna try and
Yeah.
beam down some. Okay, so give me some daring. This is definitely daring and engineering.
Okay. How much momentum?
I
do we
would
have?
even argue actually this is even daring in science because you're not using you're using science and math to try and make sure that everything goes the way it needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I want you to do a daring in science. You're activating the devices. I get that. I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have momentum. I'm assuming.
Last I remember, there was 3.
Okay, I'm going to use 1.
Okay.
And we don't need to keep this up for very long. I'm assuming this device.
As long as
Hold
as
on.
long as
I'm going to ask the Vulcan science officer, how long do you want the structure intact?
as long as possible, because we don't know how long it'll take to disconnect or examine the device on the other side.
Excellent.
Give
I'm
us as
using
much
3
time as
momentum.
you can give. Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to have 4 dice on this one.
Okay.
I have
And I'm going to assist him.
I
Okay.
have no focus
So
in
why don't we
numbers.
get your assist roll first there? Okay.
I do not assist.
It's okay.
Let's see how I do. It's 3 successes.
Okay. Are any of those lower than a 4?
I don't have any focuses.
Fair enough. Okay, so you set everything up. It takes a good hour to set everything up. and you guys can now hear the wind, and you smell that ozone. And to me, that kind of like, in my mind, a plasma storm. You know how ozone has that kind of like that. You can smell that it rains and lightning. You can have that scent. I imagine that, and I have no idea, no scientific basis. I imagine that a plasma storm would kind of smell like that mixed with like char, because it would just burn everything. Like, so it would have a scent of like smoky ozone on. Like, it would,
campfire.
I guess,
Empire
yeah.
Mixed with an electrical fire.
Mixed with electrical fire. Oh, yeah, it would smell like burnt plastic. Yes, that's what it smells like. Oh, God. Oh, ooh.
Oh, no, that was just the burning trees. Now we get in the plastic.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so the thing comes down, and it's just like, you got that like permanent like everything lights up in here. You don't need lights anymore because the force field is just like, and everything's just like hitting the force field. Inside, there's a device. Let's see here. So the room was dark. As soon as you step forward with xʷməthkwəy, a couple view screens activate on the east and west walls. They contain what appears to be readouts for various sections of the city, but they're all kind of like deadlined at the moment. There's also a light that activates that looks like a red alert warning. So you get the your tricorder readings are receiving this. It is not a super exotic power source, but it's not matter antimatter. In fact, it's you might even say it's closer to like if judging from your tricorder readings, you're looking at a contained string fragment. It's in a small cylinder, less than a meter high, and about half a meter in diameter. Commander Tavik looks up and down at the cylinder and just says, "I wonder how we can move it without destroying it."
Is this would this be a power source that is currently beyond the Orion and Ferengi or even the Federation, or is this something that we could make already?
Oh no! Like so if you know how the Romulans use like a they
Black
have their
hole?
quantum cores. This is like a string fragment. So like quantum string theory. This is do you remember that one episode of Next Generation when the ship hit a string fragment and it just about destroyed the entire ship?
Mm-hmm.
Troy got to be in command. I think it was season 4 or 5. It was when she finally started to like they took her, when the writers finally started to take her character seriously. Ensign Rowe was still in it because she had to give some orders and stuff to separate. Anyways, that's what's in this cylinder, but like a manufactured one in order to create power.
So definitely a potential game changer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For the first time, Douglas Ross notices that Gurkhan's eye patch is lighting up as he scans up and down to track the EPS power conduits.
You have a scanner in your eye patch? When did you put a scanner in your eye? When did you turn into Kevin from Final Space?
I've had this from. I said it's like a Geordie style eye patch, but it's just on the one eye.
What?
After we blew him up in a Cardassian ship.
Oh God! How do I not know that? Okay. Well,
basically, he has a tricorder permanently on him.
Okay, great. I'm gonna slowly take out the little scanning part of the medical tricorder and like very very casually start scanning his the back of his head.
All right.
You find trauma.
So there are maintenance hatches. There's access corridors. There's long corridors that measure over a meter wide. There's walls made of something that resembles plastic to the naked eye, but it's hard to tell what exactly it is. But it does look energy absorbent, which is why it's been so hard to scan inside of here. You can scan the room, but you can't scan anything outside of it. Like a natural dampening field almost. And you imagine that it would probably even have the same issue with your phasers. Like, there's no way you could like shoot these walls and ruin them. They'd have a hard time. While you're scanning Gurkhan's head, you also detect that this has elfin DNA. There is from and it's associated with the current residents of Alpha 3, but Epsilon Alpha 3, but it's definitely older. Probably they're like their ancestors.
I thought you meant his head had elfin DNA in it. I got
no. In the room.
News
in the
to
room.
me.
I thought he meant like fantasy elves,
Yeah.
like that kind of elf. And I was just like, what? The...
I thought the Klingons were dwarfs.
Okay. Okay, so as you're scanning, Mr. Living Tricorder,
Yeah.
give me an insight. Give me an insight and engineering task, please.
Insight, engineering. I'm scanning the EPS power conduits and the device itself, I'm assuming, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I do have power generation technology and EPS power conduits as focuses, so one of them will work. And I'm going to use the momentum. Let's woof. 2 successes.
Yeah, you can disconnect it.
Yeah, so I'm just assuming that that's just click, 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 click.
Mm-hmm.
I look to the Vulcan first. I'm like, would you like me to remove the device for you?
He says,
I can safely do it.
yes, I would.
I go for it.
While this is going on, Sofek's going to go over to the console that had the flashing red, kind of like the red alert.
Also, how much does this thing weigh?
You have no idea how much it weighs. All right, Sofek, do your thing first, because I was about to roll some serious damage on Gurkhan for not doing that first.
Hey, I never saw that part.
I know.
So,
All right, Sofek.
A true scientist would have noticed the little red flashing button on the side of the panel.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to go up and I'm going to use my computer expertise, since I am going to be studying this computer system to find out what if this flashing red light means the same as our flashing red lights.
excuse
All right.
Gurkhan, he was establishing the structural integrity of the entire building that we're currently in.
Right? Yeah, no stress. Okay, go for it. Let's see how you do. Okay, that's pretty good. So yes, it is most definitely. You are fairly certain that doing what you're doing and entering this room without the proper codes has activated the security systems, anti-intruder security systems. So likely before Gurkhan does what he's literally breaching to do right now, you might want to shut those off. You might want to warn him too, but that's up to you.
Commander, wait a moment. We appear to have triggered some safety safeguards.
Safeguards, that's good, right?
As in security safeguards.
So not good.
I'm attempting to deactivate them now.
I'll wait on you, Lieutenant.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can shut them off so they don't zap, melt, vaporize our chief engineer.
Sounds good.
He can take a hit. He's good.
I mean,
He's just blown up in a Cardassian warship. He'll be fine.
And the
Dr. Ross found
Federation.
out, there's already trauma.
He's got all those extra organs.
blown up in a Federation warship, blown up in a Klingon warship, blown up in a Cardassian. Just needs a Romulan for the full house.
Okay. Talk to me. So give me that roll there.
Is Edmonds and Edverson down here with us as well?
Captain, are they?
No, they were following me.
Oh, okay.
And
We
where
were
are
on
you?
our way to you, but we
Okay,
got
so
stopped by the
let's have you arrive right now.
What happened to Storbo? He jumped us.
The Ferengi.
Oh yeah, right. Never mind. I
I have a plan.
Yeah. Okay. So let's so Sofek, give me a roll, and I'll just watch for it, and I'm gonna switch back over to Sam. Sam, I'm so sorry. Okay.
Okay.
So Zanny, back to you.
Right. I got interrupted when Storbo says, I can explain that because I was inquiring about the how the Ferengi got here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I look at him. Care to explain?
I didn't. Wait. Oh, damn it!
Sorry.
We've been monitoring their Orions. We knew
Oh,
they were
that's-
up to something no good. They stole from me, and I refuse to let them do it again. This guy is definitely a little bit unhinged.
Yeah, I can see
It's
that.
Ferengi.
No, like
No,
think
he's
like
worse.
like this is like he's almost like Damon Bach unhinged. Like he's got a personal vendetta that's overriding his
Rules of acquisition.
yeah.
Well, in that case, Damon, I assume that you want to get there first, right?
Yes.
Before the Orions?
Yes.
So maybe we can make a deal.
I'm listening.
Well, my crew is about to uncover whatever the artifact is. Perhaps the Federation of the Ferengi Alliance could enter into a deal of some sort of shared ownership of the land here. Hell, here. I have my fingers crossed behind my back to move. I'm not going to honor any of this crap.
All right.
I just assume there's more Ferengi with him, right?
Yeah, he's on his own at the moment, but he kind of
Okay.
as soon as you say they're about to discover the artifact, he kind of like laughs at Shared, and then he taps his comm badge a couple times and says something in Ferengi, and then disappears in a beam.
Well, shit. I was figuring I had a whole different plan. Okay. Bye. I look over at Edwards Everson, say, we got to head into the bunker. Tell Johnson & Johnson to guard the entrance to the bunker, not the camp, because the storm's coming, and to activate the shield. Sarah's going to come with us as well.
She kind of looks up. She's like, I am.
I look around, her like, yes.
Yeah.
I am. You are.
Yeah. All right.
You're lucky I haven't transported you directly to the brig, but that's only because the ions. I want to make this an easy trip.
Yeah. Okay, so you, Zanny, you have noticed that the Ferengi are having less of a difficulty transporting.
Ooh.
Why don't you give me an insight and science check to see if you can figure out why, unless you, Sam, have figured out why.
I have not figured out why, but I was thinking of insight and
Science. Yeah.
Oh, Sammy's not good at that. Edwards and Everson are
No.
scientists.
No.
No, I was going to ask one of them to help. No. Okay, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We have momentum in the pool, right?
1, 2, 3. You have 1 momentum in the pool currently.
Okay, I'll leave it. I'm going to use the. I want to know why the Ferengi aren't able to transport because I'm worried about it. I'm going to use the determination for crit. I'm going to use the let's not let them get the artifact thing.
Yep.
1, because that seems important. So that'll give me 2. And let's see if Zanny's more skills come in handy. Let's do this. 2. 4.
Wow. Look at Zanny. All right. So
He's been studying with Sofek.
Yeah. So at Sofek and Gurkhan. So Zanny, what you're realizing is that they're using the shuttle transporter.
Oh.
So they're on the planet already, which means they don't have to beam through the interference. They're already kind of like underneath it. I imagine that transporter beams would have to worry about atmospheric going up and down, but kind of across would be okay, right? So
Little
they're
easier.
using the shuttle, which means that it's less interference, which means they're able to bypass Gurkhan's diffuser. That's just kind of making the plasma storm that much, more distractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna have to do something about that.
Okay, so that happens. So you guys head for the thing and the bunker, and I'm going to have you kind of arrive just as Gurkhan. Sorry, Sofek, you turned it off. You've got one extra. Gurkhan, give me your roll to detach. Daring and engineering, please.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, it's off, so you can use insight and engineering.
Okay, either one.
Nice. Oh my God, that's a 1. Boom.
3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. All right. So you have detached the device, and just as you do, and just as Zanny steps through the hatch, you hear the unmistakable sound of a Ferengi transporter. Looking over the source of the incoming transporter sound, you see Demon Storbo standing with several armed members of a security detail. They've all got those Ferengi whips, which I thought were like sorely misused and totally ridiculous all at the same time. Yeah, so they're totally using those. Upon his, Demon Storbo immediately turns towards you, you specifically, Zanny. Thank you for doing all the heavy lifting. I will make sure to tell my superiors how helpful the Federation was in our retrieval of this device. I'm sure it will fetch a hefty price.
You're welcome, but it's not for sale.
He lets out like a guttural, like that. I can't do it properly. There you go. It's too bad that you will. I'm probably bursting people's eardrums with my redlining. It's too bad that you will yourselves become a curiosity for future archaeologists. And then you hear like that distinctive sound of the Orion transporters.
Oh, brother.
You turn to see the source and you see Captain Tolem flanked by what appears to be 4 armed soldiers materializing between you and the Ferengi.
Captain?
Captain.
I see you've arrived a little behind schedule.
Oh, no. Not behind schedule at all. I'm right on time. In fact, we're taking that.
Well, no, you and I discussed that the Ferengis were going to take it after we retrieved it, right?
I see where this is going on.
Yeah, so do I. I see what's going on too, but he doesn't. All right, give me a what the hell would this be? Give me a daring and command.
Oh, I'm good at those. I'm going to throw our last momentum in this one too.
I mean, I might have gained 1.
You did gain 1. That's why you have 1.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, all right. So he's like, what are you talking about? And then Damon Storbo's like, are you kidding me?
Well, Damon, I
looks
said
like
we
he's
could...
gonna just like he veins on his like both lobes. Like
Yeah. I look at Damon and go, well, I said we could do a deal, but you were late to the party. You should know about making deals first, right? Which rule of acquisition is that? Just stoking him.
Oh my god. All right, this guy's gonna try and keep his cool. What is that? What would keeping your cool be?
Roll.
Presence and
Command, probably.
And probably.
Yeah.
Or maybe security. I don't know.
Oh, this is so bad.
Nice.
Okay, so I would like to point out that 14 missed a success by 1.
So on a scale from 1 to spitting
Oh,
blood.
why didn't I spend determination? Oh, I could have spent threat. I forget I have threat all the time. Damn it. All right. Well, too late now. He failed. Okay, so this guy just loses it. He orders open fire on the Orions. The Orions, of course, fire back. The device is very close to a lot of disruptor and blaster fire, Gurkhan.
Yep, I shield it because I know if it goes off, we all die.
Yeah, very much so.
It's inside. It almost took out a galaxy class. What's inside this?
Yeah, it's
The
got
planet
more
might have-
power than a galaxy class.
No, but you said like the string.
Yeah, it contains more
the
power.
stuff.
It's giving off more. It's emitting more power than a galaxy class starship.
And it's all
The blast
my head.
radius would be very significant.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't you give me one more check to see if you can get it out of here? This time, another daring and engineering,
What?
because now people are shooting.
Do we have any momentum?
I
Is it
believe
determ?
I believe there is one still in there.
Okay, I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm gonna use a determination. I'm gonna use a crazy plan is better than no plan.
Nice. Okay.
That plan is run for your life. Let's see
Run
if
for the
I
hills.
am I a veteran. I am a veteran, so I keep it. 2
Nice.
plus, so 4 total.
Okay. All right. So because you spent those determination, that's very good that you did that. You do manage to detach the device. It powers down immediately, shuts right down, and your force fields are starting to waver. It's time to GTFO. As you guys get out, Zanny, Johnson and Johnson, both kind of like grab rush you. You guys can now see the plasma storm coming. It's got that I imagine it looks kind of like the Nexus, but dangerous, not fluffy and orange. And it's just kind of like rolling across just devastating things. They found the Ferengi shuttle.
Perfect.
The beam up's not going to work, but you could probably squeeze everyone in if you go now.
Let's go now.
All right.
I'm holding on to Sarah, by the way. We're going.
Okay, nice.
This is your fault.
Okay, so back on. So I'm gonna say that we're just gonna, because we're running low on time, so we're gonna cut scene to you guys sort of rushing and squishing into the Ferengi shuttle. He beamed everyone here, so they're all they're all there at the moment, and you're able to take off. But who is piloting?
That would be me.
That would be you. So I'm going to want Daring and Con this time, because you have never piloted Ferengi.
That's true, but I do like extra vehicular activity, so this is going to be fun.
It is. Yeah.
Do we have any momentum in the pool?
I believe there's still one.
Then I'm going to use that one to
Okay,
pilot.
I'm going to tell you right now, the difficulty is 4 because of the plasma storm.
Well, then I'm going to use my last determination. Again, I'm going to use Fast Ships and Strange New Worlds as my value.
Okay.
To use my
nice.
determination.
Hey, that's the first time you've gotten to use that one, isn't it?
I know, because I usually don't get to pilot it anymore. So that'll give me a crit, and then the last momentum will be used, and let's roll.
Oh, I thought that was going to be a 20. Did everyone else just watch the screen and it's like, no.
And he's up, and he's down.
Yeah.
And Gamma Shift is now Prime Shift.
Everybody, and the device goes off.
Yeah,
Everybody
thanks for
roll their
watching the end
characters.
season, everyone. That's good. That's a wrap.
Come back in 2 weeks when Captain Yazikov takes command.
All right.
That's 6.
So you get back to the ship. Yeah, you get back to the ship. The other ships, everything is gone. Like the instant you get back, Gamma Shift kind of contacts you. The other ships have powered up, and both ships have targeted you.
Shields up, red alert. I'll go to the bridge and order Sarah to the brig.
Okay, she'll
I'll
go
leave
up to
her
the
with-
brig.
I'll leave her with Johnson and Johnson. To the brig, that one.
Yep. All right. Johnson and Johnson will take. You hear them walking away. Should we just change our names? Maybe he'll remember them that way. I don't know. He might just change them again. Yeah. Let's just stick with it for now. Okay.
As I walk away, I can hear you and I don't care.
Oh, good commanding.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay. Sofek and Ross, what would you two like to do?
I'm heading to the bridge.
Okay.
I don't know the ship, so I'm just like walking around.
Probably best to head to the bridge to stick with them until they
Probably,
give
yeah.
orders. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We just find him wandering around the hallways next episode. So, do I get quarters or?
Does this have a 10 forward? This is bullshit.
It's on the back of the
Find
ship.
some
It's on deck 7.
Yeah, they call it 7 rear.
7 rear.
7 rear.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Jessica finds him. He's like, "You're not on the roster yet."
Intruder alert!
Intruder alert.
Tackled.
Gurkhan, what would you like to do with the device?
I am going to bring it into one of the cargo bays, and I'm going to erect a level 5 force field around it. And then I'm going to strap it down so it doesn't bounce around for the inevitable beating we're getting.
So before you do that, like as you're kind of like heading to the cargo bay, Tavek insists on sticking with you.
Yeah.
Looks at you and says, "Lieutenant," and he says that on purpose to you.
I'm not. He didn't use my rank, so I'm not listening.
Yeah. So he kind of double checks. He's like, "Excuse me, Lieutenant Commander." He says, "I'm going to have to insist that we." Not lock this down. You can ask your captain, but I'm fairly certain that this ship cannot survive an attack from both a Ferengi Marauder and an Orion Raider.
You do not know this ship, sir.
I recommend we connect it.
You know me very well, sir. We turn a 180 and head towards engineering.
Okay, so he's gonna give you.
Sounds like some Starfleet bullshit's gonna go down with the warp.
What every
You know,
good what every good engineer does, connect random alien shit to their ship.
And fire something weirdly powerful out of our main deflector.
Well, so
We're gonna end up in like the Zeta Quadrant and be like, what?
yeah,
Our ship's
so
gonna rotate 4 times, fall
What
down,
does
and end
God
up
need
somewhere
with a
else.
starship?
drop space. So I want to know Gurkhan, and I guess Zanny. So Zanny, by the time, what is your plan? Like, what are you thinking at the moment? So you do, all of you know that your ship, you're gonna hold your own, but you're not gonna be able to hold up against like a Marauder is designed to take on a Galaxy class, right? Like they're big vessels. They're dangerous, and the Raiders are like dangerous for a Cheyenne. You could take it, but 1-on-1, right? You're not built to be a warship. You're built to be a science ship. So,
And our specialist for damage is not on board.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, my plan was to turn tail and head towards that sun that's probably going to have a solar flare show up pretty soon.
Okay, so
Get the planet between us and them, but also I want to send out a message to both ships saying that some form, I can't think right now, but it's some form of firing on a Federation vessel in open space is against all the regulations that it's against.
Yeah.
Just
Basically, if you fire
basically a
upon
blind
us,
threat.
it's an act of war.
of war,
yeah,
type thing.
you're in open space. They've
Yeah.
made claim. They both laid claim. As far as they're concerned, everything is perfectly legal. And they
It's-
both
it's
try
a-
and yell over themselves on the speakers. They refuse to
It's-
go visual.
It's real. I know this, so it's really just an empty threat to try and give us time to make it towards the sun. I say like full impulse.
All right,
Just
so
book it.
Sarah just 5x5, Captain, and hits impulse and kind of turns for the sun. Gurkhan,
Yep.
they're aiming for the sun. What are you gonna do with your new toy? You wanna make you go faster?
No, I might put it on our shields.
Oh yeah, you could do it on the shields. You
And
could
then
you could also. I'm just gonna throw this out there.
We could put it on our big warp core and just head to Earth right now.
I mean, it wouldn't go on your warp core, but it could definitely impulse propulsion maneuvering.
Yeah.
would just kind of like, yeah, would be good.
Gurkhan's fighting his baser urge to just put it into the phasers
Oh yeah, you could do that too.
and just amp the weaponry to the factor of 1,000,000.
Yep, or your shields. What would you like to do, Gurkhan?
He knows the ship's quick. He knows that the ship is designed for basically speed. We do have a single quantum torpedo.
Yeah, it's likely that the captain will not use it, but
Likely or not, I'm going to apply all of this power to our impulse and maneuvering.
okay.
If we don't get hit, we don't need to use our shields.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so give me please this is most definitely a daring and engineering.
Okay, we have.
Why
one
does the ship
number
have a single quantum torpedo?
nine. We salvaged it from our last ship.
Souvenir.
Is that like when somebody puts somebody on like a deserted island, they give them a pistol with one bullet?
No, so
No.
so we're still at the point when quantum torpedoes aren't quite common.
Oh, I see.
Common,
You're you're in the beta program, so they only give you one.
Yeah.
Just in case.
2373. So they had a limited amount, and they used the rest to blow up their old ship.
Okay.
And then kept one. And
Yeah.
so they're not, like I said, they're not commonplace, right? So it's still very much like Defiant using one against was like a big deal when they used one. Voyager using one was like a big deal because they only had a handful of them. And the way they always kind of like built quantum torpedoes in the shows was that they were a very limited resource because they were so damaging that they didn't want them to be standard issue.
So I'm sorry to keep the ball rolling. I'm going to
Yeah.
use the momentum. I'm going to use the determination for the value think, act, then talk. Because I didn't ask the captain if I could do this. I just did it.
Yep.
And I am going to apply it. I have the focus for impulse tech, shipboard engineering, EPS.
Great.
I have all the stuff that I need for this. So I start with 2 successes.
Okay.
Then I roll. And I end up with 3 more.
Jesus Christ.
We have to have some
Alright.
form of momentum.
So
pool at this
can all
point.
of you on the bridge please give me a the hell are you gonna do?
Fitness and security.
Yeah,
not to fall over.
Exactly. Yeah. You're all gonna make a fitness and security, please, as the ship just like lurches forward. So you need to do that. Like, whoa, geez. Oh, Ross.
I've got my space legs back.
So yeah, Ross, you haven't got your space legs back. Keep in mind you do have some determination. If you'd like to use one now, you're welcome to. If you can
You
think
gave
of-
me a momentum earlier. I forget what that does for me.
The lollipop.
You can use it to add a dice roll in this case.
So I can add in like another single roll.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try that.
Nope.
Damn.
Not today.
So you could use determination if you have a value you can activate.
Let's see.
Always with the learning. Nope. All right.
I think any
So
of my
Ross,
values are gonna help me not
yeah,
fall.
Ross,
on my ass.
you fall on your ass. You're gonna have a bit of a limp next episode. For continuity, everyone else is going to take damage, but we're right near the end, so you just got like bumps and bruises. The ship kind of lurches forward and does that like that original movies, like the original movies style when they like went really fast and everything kind of did that cheesy 70s streak, which I just loved, right? Yeah. So it just kind of like does the.
They've gone to plaid.
Yeah. They've gone plaid. Exactly. Yeah. And you're getting really close to the sun. Are you gonna drop this thing in the sun? Because, I mean, I don't know that Tovek would be all for that. I don't know that Sofek would be all for that. Sofek is pretty.
Gurkhan wouldn't be for that either.
Science is.
So, Sofek, I need you to find me if there's a solar flare about to happen. I want to get our ship between us and those other ships to mess up their scanners so we can go to warp.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Understood, Captain. I'll scan the surface of the sun to see if there's any
Reason in
plasma
science.
buildup. I'm going to use the determination because why not? And I'm going to use do not allow the artifact to fall into
Nice.
other
Yeah.
factions' hands.
The determination. Why not?
So 3, right?
Yes.
Yes, there is one. Beautiful.
Excellent. Sarah, set a course for that solar flare. I want us to
5
pass
by 5, Captain.
right over as it goes up.
All right. So we do a cutscene outside. The ship kind of like flies by. The flare is kind of coming up, and the ship just kind of like crosses over as the flare just kind of breaches behind. And the camera angle shifts as you see the ship kind of just jump to warp.
Maximum warp.
And then it kind of pans around, and the other two are just firing away at each other. And that is where we will roll to credits.
After we hit warp, Zanny just turns over and goes, "Welcome to the ship, Doug. You should get up." Walks on.
Fell on my face.
Yeah, does you at least help him up, or do you just like look down at him and welcome to the ship, man?
No, I'll give him a hand.
All right,
You should
good.
get up.
So did we kidnap 3 Federation officers?
No, you
No.
rescued
No.
you
We
rescued the
kidnapped
team.
4.
Yeah, 6. There's a whole bunch
6.
actually. There's actually
There's
6 of
at
them.
least.
There's a lot. Yeah, we took a bunch of people with
And a
us.
few civilians, but it's not a kidnapping. You're jumping back to the base, and you can drop them off.
One of them's in jail with Luther right now.
Yeah, one of them is.
Luther's like, "Hey, what'd you do?"
So yeah, that's the end of the prize. You managed to drop off the artifact to the Daystrom Institute. It's going to take like years to figure this one out. As soon as you kind of like siphoned off the last of the residue power, circuits blew and things kind of fried. You very much like did the like slap together Gurkhan, but I mean, you know, it looked really cool,
We almost hit warp level lizard.
warp level lizard, exactly.
Oh, pull it back just a little bit, Captain, please. I don't want to de-evolve.
Don't go to warp level lizard.
I didn't know the warp could give us warp.
All right, so that's where we'll end. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. Yezikov will be back, and if all goes well, we have a special guest next week. So we will see you all then. Thank you very much for joining us. We have some new shows starting on Norse Foundry, so make sure you check the calendar of events on the Twitch stream. We're really excited to have new shows. We'll be back in 2 weeks for more Star Trek Lost Voyages. You can follow me at the GM Tim. You can follow Norse Foundry at Norse Foundry, and come and say hi. And if you want to play with us, I mean, let me know. We're always looking for guests. We'll play it as long as you know Star Trek. Pick your favorite Star Trek guest star trope, and we'll make an adventure for you. In the meantime, gentlemen, thank you very much for playing. Matt, welcome to the team. And to everyone who is watching to us, I hope to see you again in 2 weeks. Live long and prosper, everyone. Have a good night. And Happy
Peace.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks, Tim.
Bye, guys.